The name's Fox. Fox McCloud. I'm the leader of Starfox, an elite fighter squadron established by ex-Cornerian flying ace James McCloud, my father.
So, holy crap, we got a new Starfox game. I'm a huge fan of Starfox. A lot of their games kind of dipped in quality a little bit, but they were still good games. The only problem was that Starfox 64 elevated the series to a height that no game in the future could reach. What happened was the sales for Starfox went down as the quality of the game went down, and Nintendo didn't know what to do with the franchise. Well, thankfully, what happened was, with the introduction of the 3DS, they reintroduced Starfox 64 with a graphical update, and it proved that people still cared about Star Fox. It's just that they liked Starfox 64, understandably so. And so, clearly, finally, Nintendo figured out what to do. And what that solution was to bring back the formula of Starfox 64, but make it bigger and better.
When your game series isn't as good as it used to be, what do? Well, the answer's simple. You go back to the basics. You go back to when it was good. And Star Fox Zero is absolutely aware of this fact. In Star Fox Zero, you have the classic gameplay of Star Fox, the original voice cast from Star Fox 64 for the most part, and the same story structure and everything that you loved from the original game is back in Star Fox Zero. Well, you may say to yourself, well, I have played Star Fox 64. Why would I want to play this? Well, good question. New control schemes, new approaches in telling the story, and best of all, if you grew to love the original voice cast from Star Fox 64, and you love the way that they delivered the dialogue, you have a new avenue, a new playground to explore and admire all of these hilarious quotes. I guarantee if you've ever gone in a quote battle with someone over Star Fox 64, there's a good chance that after you're done playing Star Fox Zero, you got a whole new ball game to play.
So people were wondering if the story for Star Fox Zero is any different from Star Fox 64. And yeah, it is. It's different enough where if you played Star Fox 64 and you're hoping for a new experience, you get it out of this game, but you have to keep in mind that it is without a doubt a reboot. So you're not going to get too much of a difference as far as the story structure goes from Star Fox 64. And as far as a reboot goes, it's great.
It's different enough from Star Fox 64 that you at least still get a new experience out of it. If you're following the core plot elements of Star Fox 64, then yes, there is nothing here for you. However, the journey in which you get there is drastically different. So if you are going for quote by quote the story of Star Fox 64 versus the story of Star Fox Zero, there's something new for you here. And I personally think that as long as they don't continue to continuously reboot the same story over and over again, this is totally fine. I find that it's a lot more fun to mix around the elements of the dialogue if you're going to reboot the series than to do it note by note.
So a lot of people are wondering if the controls are going to be good or bad. I think they're really good, but let's be objective here.
So you're going to be getting a lot of commentary about how bad the controls are, how it's hard to focus on the TV and the screen. Alternatively, I disagree entirely. I think that the controls worked absolutely well for me. And what's the benefit of using these new motion controls? Well, the big thing is that you can now use motion to line up your sights, which makes it infinitely better to strike enemies than it was in Star Fox 64. But the big thing here, the absolute biggest reason that Nintendo wanted people to use the gamepad is because when you bring people over, the game looks like a freaking movie. It's a spectacle to behold, and anybody who's going to be watching you play Star Fox Zero is going to be in awe. And if you become really good at Star Fox Zero, just playing the game in front of people is like a party favor. Like, people will want to come around and look at you play this game because, well, for one thing, you need to have skill just like you did in Star Fox 64 to be good at Star Fox Zero. So there's that, and so like if anybody else tries to pick up the controller, they may be terrible at it, but that's good. It just makes you look that much better when you're playing the game, and when people are watching all the action on the TV, it's nuts. And the way that people react to the game while you're playing is something that I've never experienced before for a first-player game. But let's say you're not that good at it, okay? Well, there's a solution to your problem, and that is bringing a friend on. Now, you may argue that I don't want to have to bring a friend on in order to beat the game. Well, then I would argue you need to get good. Simple as that. If I can learn to master the controls, then literally anyone else can. And if you can't, then just play with a friend. There's no shame in it. It adds to the fun. If you have someone else involved, now you have a two-player game. And it's fun in that regard.
Alright, so that was Star Fox Zero. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I don't know. I think it's a really, really good game. I absolutely recommend that you pick it up. For the love of God, please pick it up. I don't want Nintendo to think that they went in another wrong direction when they finally went in the right direction. Please buy this game. I'm so glad that Pikmin 4 is coming out. Clearly people bought into that. So thank you so much for buying that game, because I'm a huge fan of that as well. But now we have to do this for Star Fox Zero. It's not a bad game by any means, by no stretch. It's definitely the game that a hardcore Star Fox fan has been looking for all these years. So I absolutely recommend that you pick it up. I think that even if you're just kind of a newcomer into the series, you really, really should pick it up. This is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and it hasn't really gotten the respect that it's deserved over the years. And this is our chance to show Nintendo that we really do love Star Fox, and that it is as big and as important as Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.